Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage. We are in Jersey, just over the bridge from Philadelphia, and my old friend Bill gave me a call literally yesterday. We were working in the shop, and he's like, hey, my boss bought a property, and it is an old body shop, and it is filled with stuff, and we're literally bringing the dumpsters in and clearing the place out like tomorrow. You need to come with your trailer. So here we are. We're gonna dig around. We know that they were restoring old classic cars, and there's mayhem going on, and we're gonna dig around, see if we can fill the trailer and see what kind of fun stuff we can find. So let's get going. It's gonna be a fun one.
Wow. Oh, arbor press. It's like an arbor screw press.
Yeah, like you were right for telling me to bring the big
Cows, yeah. That is all in there. Another chassis over there.
Yeah, that one's more complete. I believe that's an Auburn as well. Yeah, these are 20s Auburn. I think that's kind of you guys are scoping out. And that may be what that is over there. The center caps on that match.
This is a whole
Something with a
roadster.
V8 flathead here with
It's a whole roadster.
This is an Auburn. Look at the windshield.
Yeah.
This is an Auburn.
That's torn out.
Yeah, but this is an Auburn.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Cadillac
No,
South.
it's got a Fisher body tag on it.
What's that? Let's see the
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
like a
I'm
South
not sure what
flathead.
that was.
Oh, look at this. Is this a sign?
No, that's.
Oh, it's a heating duct. I thought it was one of those like arrow signs. I was like, no shit.
Oh my god! No, we didn't get that lucky. Might have to dig a little deeper for those.
Look at the gauge counts. This is Cad LaSalle. It's like a little roadster.
I didn't even see this back here yesterday. I'm assuming this is like somebody made this.
No, this might be hard to say. All right,
Ready?
check out the upstairs.
See the flathead?
Yeah, it's Cadillac. Yeah, the porcelain coated exhaust.
Yeah, you don't have one of those yet.
I don't. Don't have one of those? No, I got parts for them. Holy moly. Yeah.
What the hell is that thing? Is that like a router? Oh, it's a radial arm saw? Or something.
I can hear them walking on top, so we might, if a guy falls through, he's gonna land on one.
Yeah.
Oh, first thing I picked up.
Yep.
Windshield carb. Where's Pete at?
Still downstairs looking. It's gonna be a very noisy video.
I see Model T stuff.
Yeah, there's fenders, T-head.
We just need to get some boxes and just start filling smalls and getting them downstairs on that cart, and then he can
Yeah.
on it. Is Auburn. Is it decent?
Yeah.
All right, well then. We can tell.
Steering box.
Just see on the inside right there.
Metal.
Okay, that's just what's there.
It's the floor. Like, these are NOS.
Yeah. Well, if it looks decent, just put it on the pile. We don't need to go. There's no time to really figure out what it is. Yeah. That's all. That's why we want to take it home and figure out what they are.
Got a 1931 labor rate book.
If you think it's neat, put it on a pile. We'll throw it.
I'll set it off to the side.
There's vendor braces.
Yeah, how about it? The thing is huge, man. Never seen one that
early
big.
stuff.
Like a radiator, if it looks decent there.
What's it look like?
It kind of looks like the one that would be in that Auburn grill in front.
Yeah, that would be.
That's got a radiator in it.
Yeah, any hardware shit like we need for building cars.
Oh, okay. Yep.
You know, like flathead screws. Right. You know,
Yep.
the shit we're always digging for now that you're here. Now that you're in the shop, you got. Steve, if you go, man, we were looking for one of them the other day. You should probably grab it. Yeah,
This looks like something someone will pay a lot of money for.
no.
No?
We'd save it, but yes, it's for the back of the
Yeah,
back
it
of
looks
the
like
front
it goes
seat.
on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, put it.
Yep.
Figure it out, Lionel.
I found a convertible top frame.
Yeah, that's. Is there a note on it? Things are getting strapped in eventually. Yeah, saw that. Somebody's foot went through it.
Oh, there's some light holes now too.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get stepped on, but.
Are they doing all the plywood?
I don't know. So, kind of going through and just doing a sweep because these guys are literally knocking the roof off of this place and stuff's falling down. And I'm trying to dig out and save car parts before it gets wrecked and smashed.
Yeah.
I'm dodging foots. But right here,
Oh wow.
found a bunch of wheels back there in that sticker. These are Auburn, I think. There's a couple of trunks. That trunk right there. Original Auburn trunk. So we're gonna try to, literally right where the roof is getting smashed out.
Jesus.
Minutes from being wrecked.
Destroyed.
So,
And we also found some fenders over here we're not sure of, but there's an Auburn grill,
yeah, and then there's a
Auburn hood.
so we're gonna get these trunks out.
Without being stepped on or crushed. Is it a trunk or just the back half?
Yeah, it's for the back.
Oh yeah.
Sand.
You might need to go get a massage tomorrow.
I had one last night.
Oh, you're ready to go.
I don't know. Actually good. Trying to make room. There's more wheels back here, so there's a.
Oh wow, yeah.
I think there's a full set of wheels. And those are the trim rings, the locking rings, out rings.
You keep digging. I'm gonna go downstairs and carry this all downstairs.
Okay.
Have fun.
Make
Watch.
the pile bigger.
Watch your head.
Yeah, I know.
You want a hard hat?
No, I should have one on. Look at this glass battery.
Glass battery.
Whoa.
That's super cool. That'd be neat just to put on the shelf.
Is there still fluid in it? Acid in
I
it?
think so. I think it's.
I don't know if I touched
I think
that
that's.
bare hands.
I think that's been dry longer than we've been alive. Longer than our
It's only
parents.
battery acid. It doesn't hurt. Come on, Bill. Making a serious dent. Got all this down. Some of this came from out in the weeds. That cow. But slowly making a dent. And we got all this. There's 2 lofts over there we got to go through yet. So I'm sure there's some goodies up there. But slowly How's your first adventure, Steve?
Mind-boggling.
Yeah. Not even. We got to take us all out to the truck then.
Oh. Well, about a quarter of the way there.
Yeah. Quarter, we're probably a third.
All right, I'll take a third.
Give it a little bit better.
All right, I'll give it a third. Okay, I'm lightning here.
There's two steps.
2 steps left.
Oh, yeah. Careful, Steve.
Hey, Reagan needs a hope chest. Think we can, an Auburn back half?
See what Karen thinks for Christmas. I'll bring this. Yeah, just to mess with her and see what she says. Brought you a hope chest for the kids. Well, we want to start to my first Duesenberg someday. I want one. And just like the Ford stuff, you start with something really bad, and eventually you get something decent.
That's the thought, at least.
We'll step on this cadless saddle flathead.
Maybe one of the roofers could pull the nail out for you. Find the hole. Find the hole.
I think it's
The same size. Oh. Oh.
oh, it's an engine fire.
Yes.
I wonder if there's aluminum board pieces in front. That's the same aluminum.
Right.
Look into that.
Yeah.
Maybe they're worth grabbing now that we think about it.
Well, were there any Duesenbergs that weren't roadsters?
Yeah, tons of spans.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
By look into, you mean just take and then we'll figure out later?
Yeah. That's really cool.
It's a good wall piece.
Are we having fun yet? Finding all kinds of junk.
Steve, I know Steve's having fun.
I am. There's so much stuff that if you knew what car that was for, it would be worth something, you know?
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Unfortunately.
That's a cool little tin that runs like cupcake cards.
Yeah,
right.
just
That's what it
on.
looks like, a cupcake bit.
Maybe we'll be a little bit more victorious up here.
In the hidey hole.
There's calendars or something. Rolls of paper. It's got Fomoco on it.
Does it?
Yeah, the tube.
Transfer. Oh, it's
I wouldn't
says
have rolled that.
scraps for 57 Ford. That was from a wood grain kit
Yeah.
or something, but it's only the leftovers.
Trash.
Yes. That's probably property plans. County of Gloucester.
It's like topographical map.
Ready? Found something cool for hot rods. The whole roll of pleated, like Naga hide or whatever.
As long as the foam isn't deteriorating, and you can spray that any color you want.
That's cool. Makes some door cards.
It's black.
Yeah.
Do you see the? Yeah, that's. Yeah.
I actually want some of that for the go to City Coop to make door cards and stuff.
That's like. You do full headliner with that width.
No, the foam looks like it's still good.
Yeah, we'll save that for
All the way up underneath the A-pillar section.
Yeah, the side hinging trunk's kind of odd.
Yeah. It's a Ferrari Daytona.
on our way.
Bill said it's a Ferrari.
Could be. Now it's 5th gauges. 5th gauges are giveaway. It's British.
Yeah.
Some sort.
Triumph.
Could be.
Yeah, it could be any of them.
You can find it in a panel.
Real automotive archaeology going on today. It's a rear fender, 2 rear fenders against that fence.
Surprisingly, they don't look that bad. I don't know what it fits, but.
It's grill bars.
Yeah, a lot of them too.
Yeah.
Here's the tag right here.
Yeah, it's the Fisher body tag.
Yeah.
So that would say, tell me.
Oh my God, it's a mouse. Yeah, he just came out that little hole in the firewall and now he got through.
You scared him out that way, Matt.
You right there, Bill?
That body.
Yeah, they could
in the
have.
cow.
Somebody could have added this, and maybe it just has. They might have just had roadster windshield stanchions, and somebody added it. It's hard to say.
The fuel tank is ridiculously large.
Driving cross country. Yeah, what's it?
Check full headlights on it.
Oh yeah, those are guides.
Yeah.
Those are non-marker light guides. They'd be worth saws on off.
They got steel beams in them. This
Full detail.
It is probably Auburn, like the rear fenders we got.
Yeah.
This right here is the giveaway. You can find that. But the engine is what's throwing me off. But if somebody cobbled something together, they could have started with a Cadillac LaSalle chassis and then put this other body on it. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, but then again, it
like
looks
these,
too.
these fenders don't match the running boards it's with. Like they stop, and this looks as if it had a spare tire well there and a well on both sides.
Look at the rear fenders. There's like sheet metal over top of the rear fenders next to the body.
Oh yeah, I can see that here. Yeah.
It's on both sides.
I think it's something. It's something somebody built.
Yeah.
Alright, so next day we got everything home, and of course it was basically dark by the time we got home and drove through traffic and all that nonsense. And we were just exhausted after a day of just rushing around. I can't stress enough in that video, I don't know if it came across, they were literally tearing the roof off, smashing things out of the way, and clearing the property like as we were doing all this, and it was like working under fire. Like they were literally like people falling through the roof and bobcats running around. You had to just make sure they were not worried about us. We were not a priority. And it was really difficult. So we grabbed everything we could in the time frame we had. We had basically one day to clear whatever we could out, and the rest was going to scrap. So we were able to fill the trailer with just 3 of us, and Pete's a little slower than we are with moving stuff around, but he was able to dig out a lot of smalls. The nice thing is I kind of split everybody up. I had a couple of us upstairs for a little while, and then once we started getting a big pile, I had Mike and Steve start just getting stuff downstairs and staging it while I kept going through everything and kind of saving stuff. Pete was then downstairs going through all the smalls, and with all his knowledge, he knew, without me even kind of discussing with him, he knows what's good, he knows what's useful, and I'm excited to see the kind of smalls and stuff that he threw in on our piles here. So what's really exciting about this is it was an old body shop, but also an old restoration shop. So there was a lot of stuff that we could use for our own shop. There was like, well, I think over there we have some, but there was literally like bins of brand new stainless and chrome and just old flathead fasteners and things like that we need for the old Fords and things that we work on. It obviously crosses over into all old cars, and there was a lot of that around. We were able to, the owner was nice enough to let us scavenge these 2 bolt bins. So these were in the one main, like, more modern body shop, but these were just all 2 bolt bins they had, and I've been trying to get the other bolt bins of original fasteners and some of the fine thread stuff and specialty stuff, and my bolt bins are like overflowing. So now we can take these 2, put them in the shop, and put them right to use, which is awesome. We got a lot of just stuff that we don't fully know what it is. We know a lot of it's like Auburn. We know there's a little bit of Packard. There's all kinds of stuff in here that is just different brands. We know there's a little bit of Duesenberg stuff that's floating around in here. But some of it, honestly, we couldn't fully identify, and with like basically having 0 time, it's not like we could sit there and like go through it all. So we got as much as we could basically get out in a day with a handful of us. There were some nice things that we found. At the very end, I wasn't able to actually film it because Mike, my stupid ass, left the 4-ways on with the trailer, and the truck battery was dead. So while Mike was dealing with that, I was looking back through the cars in the weeds, and I took one last look at one of the Auburn cows, and it was an Auburn from I think it's like late 20s to like 32, 33. They got the iconic dash. If you zoom in there, and with limited tools, I was able to pull that dashboard off of there. But it was like, you know, when can you say in this era that you pulled a 30s, you know, Auburn dash and gauge panel out of an Auburn cow in the woods? You know, like that's stuff that like the old timers talk about back in the day. We were doing it, which is really cool. So it's kind of a wall hanger. It's really thin. The gauge panel is like falling apart when you touch it, but hey, it's an Auburn gauge panel and dash, which will be really neat. I'll probably just hang it in shop for a memory. But it was just like every time we looked, we found something cool as we were going through it all. So there's all kinds of stuff in here. Like I said, there's things for using of, you know, putting cars together. We got even like Pete found this. We'll just give you a couple little previews, and then we're gonna do a bounty video like we always do. But Pete found this, and this is the stuff I get excited for these days. So all the terminals and stuff for making spark plug wires and boots and different things for doing the old style plug wire, which is really cool. So there's a lot of that in here that Pete found and we found that we threw in here. And then there's all kinds of just like neat stuff we don't really know, taillights and things like that.
Lots of fenders.
Lots of fenders.
I'm gonna have a lot of hours into Google research.
Finding stuff. So, but there's a lot of neat stuff. Bunch of Auburn bumpers in here. There's an Auburn hood. The original Auburn trunk that you guys saw. We think this is a Duesenberg manifold.
Cadillac hood.
Yeah, really nice Cadillac hood.
I think.
So there's all kinds of stuff in here. We were just kind of throwing as much as we could physically get in. So it was a really fun, and it was really nice that the owner allowed us to even come in there while his guys were cleaning out the property and let us save anything, because they were literally, if we didn't come yesterday, they were probably just literally today, I think they're like throwing everything away. So the only other thing we want to mention at the end of the video here is, yes, we're trying to save some of the vehicles that were outside that you saw in the videos, some of the carcasses, just to get them out of there and find new owners for them so they don't get scrapped. But there is a time frame, and time is money, and they're running a business, and we're hoping we could save the stuff. I know everybody's shouting at the screen as we were like showing that stuff to save it, but we did what we could with the limited resources we had. If we're able to save any of that stuff or pull any of it out, we'll of course shoot a video, and we'll let everybody know, so hopefully this stuff can get passed on and used, because that's the goal with all of this. Even though we won't need any of this, it's worth the time to try and save this stuff. And yes, we'll make a little bit of money. We're able to purchase it at a good price that we won't get hurt, but there's a lot of time and effort in moving this stuff around that isn't in our wheelhouse, and researching and listing it and trying to find new owners. And some of the stuff we got might just be junk, and people are restoring higher-end cars. A lot of times there's stuff that we left behind that, like, if it was an early Ford, we would save it. But when you get into like an Auburn or something like that, a fender that is totally smashed and inside out, they would just have a new fender made when you're building a car that's of that value. So we tried to save what we thought could be reusable, and hopefully some of this stuff can make its way back on the cars and get used again. So thank you guys for following along. This is probably our most ridiculous as far as like obscure high-end parts and stuff like that, and it is always fun. It was a fun challenge for me because I really had to test myself in like just identifying stuff that was like looked like it should be important, or like, hey, I think this is this. So it was kind of fun digging through that stuff, and it was like a little game show where you had like no time and all the obstacles and stuff like that. We got it in. So thank you to everybody that allowed us at the property to work around them, and thank you of course to Mike, Steve, Pete for helping us get all this done. So thank you guys. Catch you later.